Hey future CPAs, welcome to today's episode of CPAguide.tv. So today's CPA review course review is the fantastical world of Roger CPA review, which I can promise you is going to be unlike any other CPA review course you have ever seen before. So the folks over at Roger CPA Review, they were nice enough to send me their entire elite course package here. So this includes their primary review course. So this is the primary textbook. We've got their cram course. So this is like their final review. And of course, their printed and digital flashcards. And with the elite package, you also get unlimited access now until you pass, which is really cool. Now, before we dive into the review, what I like and don't like, and all the features that Roger CPA Review course offers, I wanted to point out super quickly that directly below this video in the description and the comment section, I've got a few goodies for you that will really complement this video review and make your purchasing decision much more simple and make passing the CPA exam so much easier. So first up, I was able to negotiate a bit with Roger CPA Review, and I twisted their arm into giving me an exclusive 15% off coupon code for their elite and premier course packages just for my viewers. So if you found this review useful, go ahead and click the discount links below and help support my channel, since as you will notice, I do keep my channel ad-free just for you. So second up, do you know your CPA exam study personality yet? If not, it can drastically affect how you study and use a course such as Roger CPA Review. So head over to freecpaquiz.com to take the quiz and discover your study personality. And finally, I'm so excited to finally be able to offer my best-selling Amazon book, 8 Proven Steps to Pass the CPA Exam, for free for my YouTube viewers. So just head to freecpabook.com and pick up your free copy right from Amazon itself. All right, back to today's review of Roger CPA Review course. Let's hop back behind my computer and get started going over all their software and how it's going to help you pass the CPA exam super quick. All right, future CPAs, welcome to Roger CPA Review. So in today's video, you're going to be learning all about the Roger dashboard, so how the course is organized. I really want to cover their lectures and their notes and the flashcards and all of those learning tools. We're also going to be covering the textbook, multiple choice and simulations and practice exams and what they call IPQs. We'll be covering the analytics and also support options that are available for Roger CPA Review. So this is going to be kind of a lengthy video. So if you want to, you can always skip to the end where I kind of give an overview and who I recommend should use Roger CPA Review. But I do highly recommend that you watch this entire video. So let's get started. All right, so the very first time you log into Roger CPA Review, you're going to want to set the dates that you plan to sit for the exam. So it's pretty simple to do. You just click the add button, input the date, and you should be good to go. And then it'll let you know when your next exam is scheduled. Now, in terms of study planners, let's dive into the first section. So for this review, we'll be using Audit. So let's plug into the course outline here. So they offer a study planner. And again, there's a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, and 12-month study planner. You can download them here. And then basically it's just a spreadsheet that you can manually update and mark as complete once you've completed it. So, you know, it's not very fancy. Others are very interactive and will automatically update based on, you know, when life happens and gets in the way of studying and so forth. So if you're somebody who likes to manually keep track of where you're at, this spreadsheet would probably be a good place to start, and you can download it and print it off and so forth, and they include instructions and all that. So with that being said, now that you understand how to plan out how you're going to use Roger CPA Review, let's actually jump into the content. All right, so let's dive into the actual training material. So we're checking out Audit. So basically, Roger CPA Review, it breaks out all of these sections into various topics. And as you can see, there's quite a few topics underneath here, and they do tell you when something is new for the year and so forth. So it's been recently updated for the new 2018 exam and so forth. So they also give you the time. So as you can see, the time per video ranges from, you know, around 35 minutes to 6 minutes to 2 minutes. So quite a wide range. But again, Roger Phillip, as you'll see shortly, is hands down the most engaging video lecturer out there in the industry. So I wouldn't worry too much about falling asleep during his videos. So let's dive into one of the video lectures now and take a listen. So I haven't opened this one yet. Let's go ahead and open this one.
Hello and welcome to auditing. Today we're going to be talking about auditing And I realize some of you have seen in order to afford us a reasonable basis for giving an opinion. Fresh oxygen in, provisions of the loan agreement.
All right, so as you can see, Roger is quite the character. He's very animated. He loves using the whiteboard, creating mnemonics, and he's incredibly engaging and really breaks down this material into an easy to digest format. So in addition to the amazing video lectures, of course, you can add digital notes. So if you are not using the physical textbook, even though I do recommend you do that, you can add notes here. So just go note and then click save. You can bookmark particular sections of the video. Let's see. And then save it to be watched later. And every time you log in, this bookmark will be saved so that you know this particular section is important. You can also bookmark, that's what we already did. There's also closed captioning, so if English isn't your first language, it might be beneficial, or if you are watching video lectures at work, it might be easier to turn this volume down. You can also go low bandwidth with the video if you're using mobile, make the video full screen, and also speed up and slow down the videos if need be. Now, in terms of textbook, the textbook will show up over here. And unfortunately, the video and the textbook don't really sync up. So as you are watching the video, you'll have to manually scroll through the textbook, which can be good and bad. It prevents you from falling asleep, but it would be nice if you lose your place, if you space out for a couple seconds and you forget where you're at, it will take a minute for you to scroll through here and find where you're supposed to be within the textbook. So again, it's up to your personal preference, but you can make it bigger or smaller. Oops. Or you can use your physical textbook and highlight and make notes in that book as well. Let's see here. So that pretty much wraps up the video lectures and the textbook and the notes and all the different features that are included with all the learning tools provided by Roger CPA Review. All right, so now it's time to check out what Roger CPA Review calls interactive practice questions. So these are going to be all your CPA exam questions, or IPQs as they're called. Let's see, so we'll click on there, and then, so basically this is going to be your quiz dashboard. So it's going to show you, so for audit they have 1,244 questions. I've answered 23, gotten 8 correct and 8 incorrect. And this total number is, it includes retaking questions that I've already gotten incorrect or correct. So that's the total number of questions I've answered so far. And then, of course, task-based simulations as well. And it breaks it out even further between individual topics. So odd 1, there's 151 questions, odd 2, 92 questions, and so forth. And it keeps track of how many questions I've taken overall. So this will allow you to drill down a little bit further and identify where you should be spending your time studying. Now, new for 2018 is the Roger CPA Review SmartPath. So before, you just had the new quiz. So this is pretty standard. It breaks out all the different sections within audit, and then you can create a quiz testing yourself on audit 1 and audit 6. And then you can break it down even further by only answering questions you haven't seen before, or only questions you've answered incorrectly, or questions you've skipped, and or you can remove the TBS and so forth. So again, this is a really powerful way to study because, again, from your main dashboard, you'll know exactly where you need to be focusing your time. So you've probably all seen this before, but the SmartPath is something completely different. So SmartPath is basically a way for you to compare your scores to students who have passed the CPA exam. So Roger CPA Review takes a lot of care in monitoring the results of their students. So it's highly recommended that you share your results, whether you pass or fail, with Roger CPA Review, because they really want to know, because they have all of the student data within their course. So essentially what this means is that somebody else has sat for this CPA exam, they've passed, and they let Roger CPA Review know. So then Roger goes into their data, looks at the questions they've answered, looks at the simulations they've answered, and are able to identify which questions are most important for you as a CPA candidate to complete and get correct. before you sit for the exam. So again, it's, everybody is at different levels, but if there's a trend that they can see between their students who are passing and not passing, they can identify which questions are extremely important and then put you in front of those questions and make sure you're getting them right. So as you can see here, so there's a table or a graph view, and it's going to track your status. So have you taken any questions from this section yet? And I've just gotten started in odd number 1. It's going to give you your overall score. So right now I'm at a 47%. I need to be at an 89. So that's what the average CPA candidate who uses Roger CPA Review has in this section before taking the CPA exam. And so they recommend attempting at least 152 questions out of this section. So this is just the high level view. So let's go down here, and you can see that for odd 1, they have my score versus the target score over here, and then my target questions attempted, and then the total target over here. So I can see visually really where I'm at, how much more work I need to be doing. I can view the lectures directly from here, and then I can create what's called a smart quiz. And it's also really cool. You can filter by your status. So, once you're getting closer to your exam, you'll definitely want to be filtering by the needs improvement options here, so that you can really focus on those areas until you can get the green check mark. So that's a high level overview of the SmartPath. Let's go ahead and take a smart quiz. Okay, so as you can see here, it grabbed 12 multiple choice questions I've never seen before, 3 multiple choice questions I've previously answered incorrectly, and then 1 simulation that I've previously skipped. And as they have more data, they'll continue to refine the selections every time you click this smart quiz. So, okay, so as you can see, this dashboard looks fairly similar to what you'll see on the CPA exam. You have a direct link to the textbook, so you click that and it'll take you right to the lecture and the electronic textbook. You can make a note on there, so you can just 1, 2, 3, save the note, and this will get added to your note database and tag this particular question. So that could be very useful as well. Something I did notice that's not really in focus here is that you can select explain answer. So this is important when you're first starting out. You'll want to make a selection, click next, and then see if you got the question right or wrong, and then why. So if that's not on, it'll just take you to the next question, and then you'll have to review all of it at the end of the quiz. You can also score as you go or hide the timer. But that first one is the most important. So let's go ahead and click next. So as you can see here, I got it wrong, and it explains why here. And it's important that you understand the explanation, of course. So you can either try the question again. So let's try it again. And hey, look at that, I got it right. So then it'll explain why it's right as well. And then you can click continue, and then it'll take you to question number 2. And we can do the same thing, and if you don't have to try again, you can just click continue and so forth. So I should mention you also have your calculator and all that fun stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and submit the testlet, see what happens next. Okay, so here it tells me I got 1 right and 1 wrong. I didn't bookmark any, and I left 1 note. And we also skipped the simulation, so I just left it as unanswered. And then it gives you kind of a high-level view of how I performed, and if I had selected multiple audit topics, it would break them out further here. Okay, let's see, and then you can also check out your score history. So this quiz was saved here, and we can resume it since I obviously didn't finish it. And as you can see, my total quiz history is saved here. And then, okay, so that pretty much covers the SmartPath. And let's see here. It should, yeah. So see, this is now updated to 53%. It was 47% before, and so forth. So again, this is a really cool tool. Once you start getting towards the end of studying for a section, it's really good to know where you're at, how you compare to other CPA candidates who have been successful. So I definitely like this way of tracking your progress. Now, if you're not somebody who wants to use a SmartPath, you can always use the new quiz tab here. So again, this is the kind of the old way of studying, where you just select a topic and do a whole test bank of questions related to that particular topic and so forth. And we can just run through a sample one here. I'll show you how it works. So you can select how many questions. So we'll do 2 questions. And oh yeah, let me show you a oh shoot, let's see. Let's do one with a simulation. I bet I select, nope. Show only questions you skipped. Well, let's try odd 4 and 1. Let's see what happens. Okay, good. So let's do yeah, we'll do a simulation, and then 2 multiple choice. Okay, so again, you can select the options, so score as you go, that's important. And then the quiz begins. So you make your selection, click next, and oh, whoops, I didn't hit the explain. So yeah, so it's important to explain the answer. That's the important one. Let's see, and then we'll submit the testlet, and hey, I got the question correct. So far, 100%. Okay, begin task-based simulation. Okay, so as you can see here, this is a document review simulation. So you're presented with some exhibits here. So you got a spreadsheet with all sorts of information. So looks like company profile, memo update, and all this fun stuff that you can review on your own time once you are in with Roger CPA Review. And then well, all you got to do is select these and select the correct option and accept and accept. And you get the idea. And again, it's all tied to the textbook and the lectures. You can leave notes and all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and, ooh, yeah. So you can split vertically, just like on the real CPA exam. And you've got the spreadsheet, all that fun stuff. Okay, so you can submit the testlet. All right. And unfortunately, I got the simulation completely wrong. But I did get the 2 multiple choice questions correct. So it looks like all the questions came from odd 4. And then we can see the results here. And then it shows up in the score history and so forth. So again, it's not quite as, it's very manual. So you'll, if you're using just the new quiz, so it's more manual. But again, you'll have the section overview that you can identify where you're struggling. Something that I do wish they would add is a little bit more detail beyond just the odd 1, odd 2, and odd 3, because within each of these there's typically 3 to 10 different subsections. So it'd be nice to know what subsection you're struggling with as you go through the material. But again, it's still it's good to know by section where you're struggling, and I think when you mix it in with the SmartPath, it should definitely get you there at the end of the day. Okay, so now that we understand the SmartPath and the new quiz, let's try out a sample exam simulator. So again, this is going to be a practice exam that's going to be very similar to what you'll see on the real prometric exam. And then, so let's see, we click next. So again, it's by testlet and all the simulations and multiple choice questions. Let's see, and it's set up very similar to the practice quizzes. Except this time you will not be able to see the quiz answer as you go, and the time remaining will be what you'll see on the real exam. Let's see here, so you can click that, click next. You can also flag questions, and that will be saved into the question database and so forth. So I'm not going to bore you answering all these questions. But as you can see, there's testlet 2 of 5. And now we should be on to the multiple choice questions. All right. Or, sorry, the TBS. And there we are. Okay. So, again, very similar to what you'll see on the real exam. This is definitely
something that is very useful in terms of time management. So I'd highly recommend using it along with the AI CPA version of the real CPA exam as well. Okay, and we should be done. So again, once you've completed your practice exam, they'll let you know your results. They'll break it out by individual topics, so you have a good idea of where you stand. And I definitely recommend getting your SmartPath up to at least the target met option before you sit for the exam. So I would really shoot for that, or getting the majority of it there. So so that pretty much wraps up the multiple choice questions and simulations and the analytics for Roger CPA Review. So one feature that can really set a CPA review course apart from the others is how well they take care of their CPA candidates. So Roger CPA Review, they have what's called their Homework Help Center. So it's a student community that has CPAs within it to help answer your questions. So these are CPAs that are hired by Roger CPA Review, and yes, I confirmed with Roger CPA that this is the case. So let's take a look at a couple examples. So there was a lot of email addresses involved, so I want to protect those folks. So I already set up a search here. So as you can see, you can filter by section, by topic, and then by subtopic, and then ask your specific question related to that. So I found a question here that's a good example. So this guy right here, he's had some issues with a question and answer that he found in a multiple choice. And then one of the moderators here, he replied within a day. So as you can see, this question was posed on July 31st, and the response was August 1st. And it's extremely detailed. And I think it definitely answers the question that was being asked. This is huge for CPA candidates who, you can rack up a bunch of questions and then kind of shoot them all into the forum and hopefully get a response within a day. So that's a very powerful feature to have, and the fact that Roger CPA Review has CPAs on call 7 days a week to answer your questions is very valuable. So overall, I am very confident in the level of support that you should receive from Roger CPA Review. All right, so question of the day: is Roger CPA Review the right CPA review course for you? Well, before you make any final decision, I do strongly recommend that you take my CPA exam study personality quiz. So if you head to freecpaquiz.com, you can start your quiz, and be sure to select the brand new CPA candidate option here as your very first question, because it will, based on that question, or based on that response, I'll be able to specifically help you find the right CPA review course for you, and so forth. So again, freecpaquiz.com will definitely help make your decision very simple, and depending on how you learn, because everybody learns differently, and how based on that study personality, how you respond to the way that material is presented to you is going to be a huge influence on which CPA review course is best for you. But I can tell you that if you prefer learning from video lectures, then Roger CPA Review is going to be one of the top courses out there. So as you can see here, we have some pricing for the Elite, Premium, and Select course packages. So again, this pricing is always changing, and I would like to mention that down in the comment section and in the video details, I do have links for a 15% off coupon code off of these prices right here. So if you'd like to help support my channel, support my site, then please feel free to use those. But again, I urge you that only use them if my review has helped you in your purchasing decision, because they are affiliate links, and I will get a small commission if you use them. So with that being said, overall, I love Roger CPA Review. It is a great course. It's got thousands of multiple choice questions, more than enough for you to pass on your first try. 100+ hours of video lectures, and as you saw from the video review, Roger is a very energetic and dynamic lecturer, so he will keep you your attention. They now have this the SmartPath, so this is the new feature. So I really like the direction that's going, because I think if they can identify the questions that are helping CPA candidates pass the CPA exam the best, and if they can get those questions in front of you, it's going to greatly increase your odds of passing. Now, I do think that their analytics could be a little bit more robust. I do appreciate the fact that they have the analytics broken out by topic, but it would be nice to see the subtopic. But I think that the SmartPath, it will help point you in the right direction. And based on the individual quizzes you're taking, you can definitely kind of figure out where you're weaker and where you're stronger. I definitely like the fact that the Elite package has unlimited course access. I do wish that they would add it for the Premier course package, because that is a big chunk of change to really only have 24 months to pass a CPA exam, which, you know, it does put a little fire under your butt to get the thing done. But, you know, life gets in the way sometimes. It took me almost 18 months to pass a CPA exam. So, again, 24 months is a long time. I would like to see it be unlimited like some of the other competitors in the industry. Roger also has a great cram course. So this is basically a high-level, quick refresher course that you can take, and it will be perfect for in the final couple of weeks before you sit for your exam. They also have flashcards, which are great. So those are there's also a mobile app for digital flashcards that'll work on iPhone. And sorry, Android users, it's not available for Android yet. So I hope they get that done soon, because I know there's a lot of us out there. They also have a multiple choice question app that works for iPhone, audio lectures. So if you have a long commute, it's a great option as well. And then offline lectures and so forth. So they have a lot of good supplements, but again, all these supplements are included in the Elite package, which will run you, let's see, after the 15% discount, it'll be about $2,300, something like that. You can also make monthly payments as well. So if you don't want to pay the lump sum, you can pay, it'll be about $254 a month, but the 15% should apply to that as well. So overall, I really like Roger CPA Review. I do recommend you know your study personality before investing in Roger CPA Review. So freecpaquiz.com will really help. And yeah, so I think that pretty much wraps up this review. It's a fantastic course. I really don't see much wrong with it. I really do think that it will get you across the finish line.